We get all sorts of interesting things sent our way, and this one caught our eye. China King, a local Chinese restaurant right there in Deltona, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
You pointed us towards the online chatter, those Yelp and TripAdvisor reviews, and we've really dug in to see what folks are actually saying.
Exactly. You wanted to know what the local take is, and well, we've spent some time sifting through those opinions.
Right.
Our aim in this deep dive really is to get a real sense of how China King is perceived, particularly when it comes to the essentials,
Like the food quality, taste.
Yeah, the quality and taste of the food, whether it feels like you're getting your money's worth, the prices, and the kind of service people are getting.
Okay.
Plus, we'll try and round up some of those practical details you might find useful too.
Okay, so let's jump straight into what people think overall. Because on Yelp, China King has a 3.1 star rating.
Right, 3.1.
And that's based on 23 reviews. Then you look at TripAdvisor, and it's, a much brighter picture. It's got a 4.5 out of 5 bubbles rating.
Wow, 4.5. That's quite a jump.
Yeah. And they even rank it pretty high, like hashtag 20 out of 70 restaurants in Deltona.
Okay.
That's a pretty significant difference, isn't it? Especially with, a much larger number of reviews over on Yelp.
It really is.
Expert, what might explain such a discrepancy in ratings across these platforms?
That's a really interesting starting point. You often see variations, sure, but this is quite pronounced. It could be due to a few factors. Maybe Yelp tends to attract a broader range of reviewers, potentially with more critical expectations sometimes.
Okay.
Whereas TripAdvisor might skew a bit more towards, say, tourists or people specifically seeking out recommendations.
Right, that makes sense.
And, the way each platform verifies reviews could also play a role. It's definitely something to keep in mind as we delve into the specifics.
Let's talk about the food itself then, because this seems to be where the opinions really start to diverge.
Yeah, looks like it.
Eric P. on Yelp actually had a surprisingly good experience. He even drew a comparison to New York-style Chinese takeout.
Oh, okay. High praise for some people.
Right. He specifically mentioned enjoying the beef lo mein, although he did note it was quite saucy, maybe a little soft.
Saucy lo mein, got it.
And the pork fried rice, which he liked for its smoked flavor, said it tasted like it came from a hot, fired-up wok.
That wok, hey. That sounds appealing.
Exactly. Then you have Sue H. on TripAdvisor saying the house special egg foo young here is wonderful.
Wonderful. Okay.
And that other meals she's had are just as good. So clearly some people are finding dishes they really enjoy.
Yeah, those positive comments are valuable. Eric's specific mention of the smoked flavor, that suggests a particular element of the cooking that, he really liked. And Sui's comment about multiple good meals hints at maybe some level of consistency, at least for her. Makes you wonder what contributes to those positive experiences.
But then we hear about some really concerning experiences. Melissa B. on Yelp reported that everyone in her party who ordered chicken ended up getting sick.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's obviously a major red flag, right?
Yeah.
Huge.
And Misha R. had an even more disturbing experience finding a huge bug cooked into their egg fried rice.
A bug. Cooked in the rice. Oh, no.
Yeah. These aren't just about taste preferences, are they?
Absolutely not. No. Reports like those, they raise serious questions about, food safety and hygiene practices.
Definitely.
These are the kinds of issues that would understandably make anyone think twice about ordering from a place.
Unfortunately, the negative feedback on the food doesn't quite stop there. My Flag M described the General Tso's chicken as essentially fried dough balls without chicken. Called it chickenless.
Chickenless General Tso's, so just the coating.
Apparently.
Yeah.
And Patricia L. reported getting an incorrect order in shrimp with lobster sauce that was missing vegetables, which led her to just throw the whole thing away.
Frustrating. And wasteful.
And Melissa N. found items on the poo-poo platter. The skewered beef, ribs, wings. She found them dried and bland.
Oh, that's disappointing. Poo-poo platters should be fun.
Though she did say the chicken with broccoli was a lot better, but still not great.
So it's kind of hit or miss even within the same order.
Yeah, and even Eric P., who had some positive things to say overall, right? He mentioned that the egg roll wasn't fresh.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it seemed like it had been fried multiple times, resulting in it being more mushy than crispy.
Nobody wants a mushy egg roll.
It really sounds like consistency, or maybe a lack thereof, is a real theme here with the food.
The breadth of these negative comments is quite telling, isn't it? We're seeing issues ranging from the fundamental, missing chicken entirely.
Right.
to problems with freshness, the preparation itself, and even just getting the order right.
Yeah.
Patricia L's experience with the incorrect order and missing ingredients, that points to potential issues with quality control, maybe in the kitchen.
Could be.
When you see this many different types of complaints about the food, it suggests there might be some underlying challenges the restaurant is facing.
Okay, let's switch gears a bit and talk about the service, because here again we see, well, a mix of experiences.
Another mixed bag. Okay.
Eric P., who had that reasonably positive food experience, he also praised the good service.
Oh, good.
He specifically mentioned how easy it was to place a phone order. Talked to a young American female who was easy to understand, and his food was ready when he arrived.
That's a definite plus. Easy phone ordering, quick pickup.
And Melissa N., who only gave 2 stars overall, partly gave those stars because she found the employees to be very nice.
Interesting. So nice staff, even if the food wasn't great for her.
Right. And Sean W. simply stated that the service is always good. And L. Grand Coquille on TripAdvisor described the staff as savvy.
Savvy. Okay. So it's not all negative on the service front then.
No, definitely not.
It's certainly encouraging to see some positive feedback regarding the service. Eric's comment about the ease of phone ordering is particularly helpful, for people who prefer takeout.
Sure.
And Melissa N's point, it shows that even when other aspects might be lacking, friendly staff can still make a small positive impact on the overall experience.
However, we also heard about some, let's say, less than ideal service interactions.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Patricia L., who had the issues with her order, also had 2 negative experiences on the phone. Involved arguments, apparently, about the incorrect order and a menu description. Something about garlic green beans being spicy.
Oh, dear. Arguing with customers is rarely a good strategy.
No. She came away feeling like her business just wasn't valued, which is never good.
Oh, that's awful.
And Melissa B., remember, after reporting the potential foodborne illness incident with the chicken...
Yeah. What happened?
She only received an apology, no offer to, make things right or investigate.
Oof. Just an apology for potential food poisoning.
Seems like it. How a restaurant handles complaints, especially the really serious ones, that can really shape a customer's perception, can't it?
Absolutely. Patricia L's experience, it highlights the importance of clear and, frankly, helpful communication, especially when you're trying to resolve issues.
Right.
Feeling dismissed or argued with. That can quickly erode customer trust.
Totally.
And in Melissa B's case, when there are concerns about food safety, a more proactive response beyond just a simple apology is often expected and, necessary to maintain customer confidence.
Yeah, you'd think so. Now, what about the cost? Value for money?
The price point. Always important.
Rachel G. on Yelp mentioned that the prices at China King are pretty standard for Chinese food.
Okay, average prices.
But she also said that the portions are huge. Even suggested that a large order could feed a family of 5.
Wow, huge portions. That can definitely add to the value perception.
And Melissa N. described it as quick and cheap, implying it's a budget-friendly option.
Isn't cheap, okay.
But then you have Patricia L. again. After her negative meal experience, she specifically mentioned spending $14 plus a tip, and clearly feeling that she did not receive good value for her money.
Mm-hmm.
So it really seems like the perceived value is directly tied to the overall experience, maybe more than just the price tag or portion size.
That's a key insight, I think. While the initial price point and those large portion sizes might seem appealing to some,
Yeah.
the perception of value ultimately depends on the quality of the food you get and the service you receive.
It makes sense.
If a customer is dissatisfied with those aspects, they're unlikely to feel they got their money's worth, regardless of how large the portions are or how low the prices might seem initially.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's get at those practical details you mentioned earlier. People might want to know this.
Sure thing. Let's cover the basics.
So China King is located at 1235 Providence, Blvd, DJ, in Deltona, Florida. Zip code is 32725.
Got it. 1235 Providence Boulevard, Suite J.
Their phone number is 386-860-2698.
386-860-2698. Good to have.
And they do have a website, which is ChinaKingDeltonataGo.com.
ChinaKingDeltonataGo.com.
Regarding their hours, based on the information we found on both Yelp and TripAdvisor, they seem to be open Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 11:00 a.m. to 9:00 p.m.
11 a.m. to 9 p.m., most weekdays and Saturday.
But on Fridays and Saturdays, they stay open a bit later until 10:00 p.m.
Okay. Later finish on weekends.
They are closed on Tuesdays. Important note there.
Closed Tuesdays. Got it.
And for Sundays, both platforms indicate they are open from 12:00 p.m. to 9:00 p.m.
Midday start on Sundays, 12 p.m. to 9 p.m. Seems consistent there.
Yes. Now, it's worth noting, as of April 17th, 2025, Yelp had a little note saying they are closed now on Thursdays.
Oh, interesting. A potential discrepancy there for Thursdays.
Yeah. So if you're planning to go specifically on a Thursday, it would probably be a really good idea to call ahead first, use that phone number, and just double check their current hours.
That's all really useful information for anyone in the Deltona area or thinking of visiting. Having the address, phone number, website right there is always a plus. And that caution about the potential change in Thursday hours. That's a great reminder that, online information isn't always completely up to the minute. So a quick phone call can save you a wasted trip.
So true. So to kind of bring it all together,
Yeah.
this deep dive into the local opinions of China King and Deltona, it really reveals a pretty wide spectrum of experiences, doesn't it?
It really does. Quite the range.
You have some customers who seem to appreciate what they see is that, New York style takeout feel with the generous portions and standard prices.
Mm-hmm. The positives are there for some.
However, there are also some significant concerns being raised, particularly around food quality, with some, frankly, really alarming reports.
Yeah, the bug incident, the sickness, those are serious.
As well as some definitely inconsistent service experience.
Exactly. The overall picture isn't clear-cut at all. There are elements that some customers find appealing, absolutely, but there are also some significant red flags that potential diners should probably be aware of.
Right.
The contrasting ratings on different platforms, like we saw at the beginning, that really underscores the importance of looking beyond just the overall score and actually digging into the individual feedback.
Yeah, you really have to read the comments sometimes. So if you happen to be in Deltona, or maybe you're planning a visit and thinking about getting some Chinese food, this range of opinions should definitely give you something to consider. It might even be worth, taking a look at some of the photos that reviewers have posted on Yelp. See what the food actually looks like.
That's a good tip. Visuals can tell a story too. This deep dive really demonstrates the power of local feedback in understanding what a restaurant is truly like, doesn't it?
It does.
It provides a much more detailed, although, sometimes conflicting view than you might get from just the simple listing or star rating.
So for our final thought today, thinking about all this,
Yeah.
when you come across a local restaurant with such a diverse, almost polarized range of reviews, what are the one or two factors that you personally weigh most heavily when deciding whether to give it a try?
That's a great question.
Or maybe thinking more broadly, what does it really tell us when a restaurant has such a noticeable divide in its online feedback? Something to ponder.